Today's Mob Rules is brought to you by the Korg D888 Digital Recording Studio and Q-Pre Preamp, bringing you Mob Rules for the last 80 episodes. And then no more after today, which is awesome. Oh,
whoa!
Sudden.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Apparently, it took offense. It just cut out
Just
altogether.
like
He was
getting
like,
out the QA88.
Yeah.
"Fuck you, John."
Yeah. That
Done.
very subtle Craigslist ad for my old equipment at the top of the show brought to you by the fact that I'm upgrading my equipment on Friday or yesterday. So this will be hopefully the last podcast using the 100 pounds of equipment I currently use.
Yeah, now we're only going to take 50 pounds of equipment with us every place
I
we
know.
go.
I'm excited. That's about all I can think of. But yeah, sorry to jump in on what was your intro, Dave? By the way, you had one ready to go.
Oh yeah, I totally did not.
I figured so.
I was
Just
gonna
step right in there.
I was like, oh, John's got an intro. Thank God, because I haven't thought of anything. Right.
Hey, real quick before we move on to the Warhammer talk, on the Four Loco front, I have very sad news. I was at the local off-license liquor store tonight purchasing some celebratory beer, as I do. The three smelly homeless people in front of me all had multiple cans of Four Loco Black and 2/5 of vodka each. And it was kind of like a little line of them, and I'm like, oh no.
They just don't know what's going to happen to
They
them.
just don't know. And I was like...
Or they do.
Oh yeah. How do you think they got there?
We can't promote this drink if it promotes the homeless problem going around anymore.
Well,
So...
promotes it.
but I'm
Aren't they promoting Four Loco Black?
but I've been working an angle. I've almost got a sponsorship for LVO.
You've almost choked down some more Four Loco Black.
Four Loco comes back and they're like, if you can drink 2 Four Loco Blacks in 2 hours, you can have your sponsorship deal with Flight and Hotels paid. And you're like, thank you for the opportunity. I will be reconsidering it this time.
Thank you for considering me for this position.
I'm gonna be honest. I could choke down 2 Four Loco Blacks for hotel and airfare.
Dude, I could do it in I could do it in 20
Yeah,
minutes.
2 hours. I'd be like, great, this is perfect. Give me that 5-hour energy, Danny. I'm gonna need to make
No. You can't do both, dude. You would just die.
I'm gonna do a 22 Loco. We'll call it a day.
Calm down, Dave. They're not dicks. Back
I think you're confusing me with my mom again.
Your mom loves Four Loco.
It's the only way she can get through the day.
4 Calcos. But anyway, Warhammer. We're a Warhammer 40K podcast.
That's the thing that we do. That's the thing we do
A
sometimes.
serious
Sometimes, yeah.
competitive Warhammer 40K podcast with a fluff problem.
Oh,
No,
there you go. Okay.
What? I
We're a
think
fluff podcast with a competitive problem.
Yeah.
The problem is Dave and I aren't very good.
Yeah.
You guys are fine.
Aw.
It was fun
Danny.
to watch your little slap fight though this weekend.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah,
God, it was
straight
not
into
so good.
it. We started our little urban conquest campaign. There was Dave, Danny, myself, and one of our friends, Cody, doing like a 4-way kind of seize the city urban conquest quest campaign using all that stuff. If you tuned into our technical difficulties strewn unannounced live streams, thank you.
Yeah.
By the
wrong with you?
second game, I think I got it down pretty good. You'll be happy to know that like right after all that was done, I found like my entire like good quality live stream setup.
Yeah. We're set for next time.
Awesome.
Next time, TM, it'll be better. That's like my logo, my saying for the show. It's my catchphrase is next time it'll be better technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We played 2 15 power level games,
Yeah.
which were surprisingly really, really fun and solid. And it didn't feel, well, I don't know if Danny can say it, but it didn't feel super imbalanced.
I don't know, John. I felt like we were fairly well balanced. There have been some tactical errors that cost me the game, but other than that, I had a good time playing it.
Yeah, and it was just a 15 power level. It was like literally 3 units. Like I had a squad of cultists, I had 1 blight hauler, I had 1 chaos lord.
Yep.
Dave, you had like
Farseer, a war walker. Now I know why nobody ever takes them, and also a squad of guardians. So
when you outflank them, they're pretty rad.
yeah,
They can be.
I'll have to do that next time.
In numbers.
I foolishly was trying to use the road stratagem.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we found out on the day because we didn't actually read the rules.
Yeah,
that,
why would we? We never do.
After Danny Cleverly made some moves.
Yeah.
If you stay on a road, the whole movement phase, you get an additional 2-3 inches.
3
It's 3
inches. Yeah.
inches.
3
Yeah.
inches. So like Danny says that, and I'm like looking at my blight hauler, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna be moving 13 inches this turn, little buddy.
You pulled some blight hauler drift
Oh,
going
yeah.
on there.
It was
That thing
like-
was just blitzing around the corner.
Too foul, too furious. It was just kind of all kinds of going. And then Danny, what were you running there for your 15 power level?
I had a Chaos Lord with a jump pack, and then 2 5-man units of Chaos Space Marines. One of them was like close combat Marines with 2 plasma pistols, and then the other one had a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Yep. And Cody took
Flyrant.
5. Well, you got to build up to that point.
Oh, sorry. I don't feel
No.
like we need to build up to
What?
it.
What?
It's
No,
just-
was there something else in this list?
Yeah,
I
that's
forgot.
just-
I forget.
not
if
that
there's-
I thought after round 1 there wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, a unit of 5 Gene Stealers and a Flyrant, which turns out when everyone else is rocking approximately 200 points.
His points, the points totals were all pretty much right on close together. I mean, the
for us
Flyrant
three,
isn't that
yeah.
much. Flyrant isn't really that much, is it? How much?
Like his was probably 250, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
So that could possibly make a huge difference.
But
then,
it
yeah.
turns out like a super mobile, super shooty, psychic, close combat killing machine is very effective against basic units.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
I had no
not
idea.
I
me.
had no idea.
Can't wait. I can't wait to get into the FAQ later and talk about how much they nerfed Flyrants, because that thing needed to be nerfed.
I mean,
Well,
no, not really. Well, that's okay.
We'll cover that.
They're getting a bunch of angry emails from a bunch of fake email addresses.
they're all like
Flyrants OP. Check
Dave
them out.
sucks at gmail.com and
Dave Eaton, Dave Beaton, Dave Wheaton, Dave Theaton.
Dave B. Beaton.
Not Dave's mom.
Yeah, not Dave's mom.
Like just definitely Robin Cruddas and is like, change the rule, please. But Danny, you played first against Cody. So you had Chaos versus a Flyrant.
Yep.
How did that go for you?
I tried my best. I had a couple of unfortunate die rolls. I kept rolling a 1 to wound when I shot his Flyrant, even with veterans, which was sad. So like, I needed a 2 to wound him, and I failed. I rolled a 1 every time, which was a shame. My Chaos Lord went in and did like 5 wounds maybe to it, which
pretty
was
good.
which was not bad.
Yeah.
And then died.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And I could have lived for another round. Not that it would have mattered a ton, but it would have given me maybe another turn of shooting.
Yeah.
Leif, I remember my Warlord trait. So basically what happened is Cody advanced Gene Stealers up. I blew them away. And then he shot / psychicked / close combat at my 5-man close combat squad. And then I charged him with my Chaos Lord. And my Chaos Lord took a couple wounds going in. And then...
Yeah, he was remarkably... He did remarkably well with his Venom cannon.
Resilient.
Well, he had
Miasma cannon,
the miasma cannon, which is decent
Yeah,
relic.
it's a good
Yeah.
weapon. Yeah.
And then I did some wounds to him, and then he slaughtered me, and then moved up and psychic / shoot / shot my Chaos Space Marine
It
squad
was
to death.
disgusting.
It was
So-
gross.
It's a tough matchup. Because, I mean, at the same time, we don't want to be like, hey, you can't take that.
Yeah, I think I could have played it better and done a better job.
But I think there's definitely kind of like two different lists, right? Where like Cody's grabbing, he's got like this really great Flyrant, and with a little bit of troops. Whereas I think Danny, your list is more kind of building towards the future and is kind of like a building block
sure.
Yeah.
to like your bigger list. Because something we're doing is every week we add 15 power level to the lists. So you have to take your existing list and then you just add 15 power level to it.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I had another 15 dudes next week. So, and I think once I add the Havocs with the chain cannons, I'll be a lot better off versus that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, me either.
Dave plays Danny next round.
It's always sunny title card flash.
But yeah, what else did you get up to in the last couple weeks, Dan?
So I built and painted those models, which was significant for me. And
Your Chaos Lord turned out really nice. There's like a little conversion to make him all like a spooky Night Lord jump pack guy, right?
Yeah.
okay. I glued some stuff, some wings onto his helmet, and I gave him another lightning claw.
I mean, isn't that essentially what a conversion is, though?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it wasn't that big a deal.
You didn't whip out green stuff and sculpt your own stuff to it, but you did a conversion to it.
Well,
and it looks really good.
Not on that guy, but on my
It's not like
sergeants,
you-
I did.
Right.
It's not like you made skin cloaks for your sergeants or anything
Yeah,
like that.
all my sergeants have cloaks of human skin, so that's fun.
And I honestly, I'm really pleased that you're taking the effort to put a little bit more into your painting. I think it looks awesome.
Thanks, man.
I mean, I hate
I
you
appreciate
guys
it when you say that.
because, like my stuff, and I'm like, man, my stuff is good. Tabletop, mine's like 4 feet away, looks great. And then you guys are putting stuff down. I'm like, I'm gonna take a photo real up close, and I'm like, you assholes.
Well, to be fair,
To be fair,
thank you. You started yours like immediately and finished them immediately because you're on your paternity leave. So you
Yes.
had
I had to fit them in between finals for the semester, looking after a baby, my wife returning to work, and redoing my housing floors.
you whipped through it like when we recorded. We always record early in the air, and before the episode aired, you were like, "I finished I finished." I was like, "I haven't even bought mine yet."
Something the only reason my life is working right now is like everything is scheduled like literally to the half hour.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, it doesn't work. So like
I'm glad your wife has set that up for you.
I know. No, well, my wife was like, she was when she was at work today, and I'm like, okay, you're leaving on time, right? Because I need you home at 4:30 so I can take my final by 4:45 and do this stuff here. She's like, yeah, gotta have that order, man. But yeah, so you painted, converted, built your guys, so you have
Did that.
your night lords on the go, ready on the prowl to make the spooky happen.
Yep. And then otherwise, did I play in a tournament? I did play in a tournament.
Oh,
I forgot about that. So
Feels like it's been so long.
yeah, it's been like a whole 2 weeks, like barely 2 weeks, right? Because the same day that the podcast released is the day I played in a tournament.
Right.
So I decided to bring Necrons. I brought them out of deep hibernation to play in the tournament.
it's very thematic of
Yeah,
it.
I thought so.
You woke up your tomb world. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I put them on the table.
They're like,
That-
we reawaken brothers after 12 calendar months.
They're really fun, like in this edition.
Yeah?
I really liked playing them. It was a cool change of pace.
Was that before or after the big nerf to them because you won the tournament? I'm assuming. I didn't actually pay
Yeah,
attention. Did you win the tournament?
I did win.
Oh, okay.
I know that GW looks at local 20-player tournaments in Alaska that are 3 rounds to make their
Some
sweeping
big sweepy
No,
changes.
just
changes to the game.
just Danny. They
these
just look to
these
see how
changes
Danny
only
does.
apply to Danny. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was fun though. Like they have a lot of cool tools, and they're like right at on the cusp of being very good. I think.
So
So-
basically, what you're saying is it depends on who's captaining them to.
No, I mean, I think that like, well, once you get to a really high level, like I like taking them to Vegas would just be to see like how good I could do, at LVO or some big event, right?
So like one of those like Nick Nanavati or Adam Abramowitz, one of those guys switches to Necrons.
Well, they would never take that to a big tournament because it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I don't.
So they're
think.
just not good enough. Then, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think the list is as good as a
Oh
lot
no,
of
I
other
meant
options.
the players themselves.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Okay.
It's just really subtle passive-aggressive trash talk.
So we'll see if I can win some more RTTs. I might bring him to. I think I might bring him to States this year.
Oh, yeah?
I look forward to crushing them with my custodes.
Yeah, you probably will.
I mean, we won't meet. We never do.
I mean, does that free up like 3 great unclean ones and like 90 plague
Oh yeah, you
bearers?
can use any of my stuff if you want it.
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh, tempt.
Okay. Yeah, it's just I've got like 60 plague bearers. I've got
Added to my 30.
did you get them back from Brandon?
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sorry, that's completely off the table talk.
Ooh, yeah. Like, ooh.
Wow.
And finally, like I finished school, so I've been working on that quite a bit. So
Woo!
yeah, I'm excited. I'll be
Now,
done. I'm
now
done
you
with
can
that.
look forward to tons of weekly videos from Danny.
Yeah, right. No.
Coming soon to Mob Rules, Danny's daily update. Hey guys, it's Danny. Still don't have school.
Yeah, just bored here. So yeah, so hopefully that'll help me out. Like, I think some cool stuff will happen to me at work, and
Sexually?
hey, I don't know. I mean, if my wife's into it,
like, hey, I have a
Wink,
degree
wink,
now.
wink.
yeah. And one of my professors asked if I had a final presentation and I might apply for a patent with the school, which could be cool.
Oh, dang.
For one of my ideas for a business proposal that I came up with.
Oh shit!
So, which could be cool.
Well,
That's awesome.
It's been good having you on
Yeah.
the podcast.
We can no longer afford you.
yeah.
Well, in fact, no.
We've
no.
only got Four Loko money. We can't. We don't have college graduate money.
When you get a college degree, you just become an intern. It actually saves us money in the long run.
Yeah. Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Usually, that's part of the college experience.
Yeah.
That counts as a class.
I mean,
Are you going to intern at Mob Rules during your?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Awesome.
But if you've heard the quality of my audio engineering, this is a 0 credit class.
Yeah.
But cool.
And he's auditing it too. So.
I am. Yeah.
So it's okay, cool.
Just like Dave's mom, it's an easy A.
Oh, is that a butt sex reference?
It is.
Oh, nice.
It is.
Nice. I like it.
You know what? I wanted to
it's-
say that, Danny. I'm glad you did because in my head, that's what the first place my mind
It's
went.
not just an easy A; it's an easy lay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You know, the funniest jokes need to be questioned and explained.
Yeah.
Reaffirmed after telling me.
Yeah. Well, we need. Yeah. That's
Well, I figured if I asked if it was a butt sex thing, it would just come across weird, like I was enjoying it.
or
you know?
interested in your mom's.
Or,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know.
that
Sexual
sets up
proclivities.
that
Yeah.
sets up a now you you would know.
Yeah.
So
Gross.
yeah, so you won a tournament. You kind of got the Necron bug again. You're Trezoning through tournaments.
Yeah.
Collecting prize support for your vault as you go. Started your Night Lord's army.
It paid for the rest of my Night Lord's army almost,
Oh.
like for this little
So
venture
basically, I have to win states so that I can pay for my final round of
of Eldar.
Okay.
Is that where you save up for 2 weeks and bring a Wraith Knight?
Yeah.
The fact that I'm only taking 6 power level next week and saving 24 power level is completely unrelated to Mortarion in any way.
Oh man, if Mortarion shows up, I just quit.
Yeah. Oh God.
No, you just fire at him with chain gun havocs and he just dies.
Probably.
Yeah,
That's the dream.
that's the dream. So yeah, what have you been up to, Dave?
Well, I've been building and painting up my Eldar. I hated them at first, and I actually Guardians I still hate.
They're terrible models.
It's not that they're terrible models; they're ridiculously over detailed for rank and file troops.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was discovering stuff as I was painting them, going,
So
how did I miss
do
this
do
the
you
first time
know
around?
that not all the bumps are gemstones?
Yeah.
yeah, no, I do.
That was my first mistake with my first 3 models. Then I'm like, no.
In fact, most of them actually aren't gemstones.
No,
Only a
But-
couple.
But I did, like a couple models have 2, maybe, and they all have 1 on the chest because they should all have 1 to capture their soul when they're killed mercilessly by cultists or speedy
Anything in the game.
or a speedy blight hauler.
Cultists did very little. Spoilers, but
So
So how'd your game go during
yeah.
your Ring Conquest?
all right, so
how did our game go?
having never played Craft World Eldar before, I forgot everything about them,
Yep.
and B,
How many times did I have to remind you about your old place? Dave?
entirely too many. If you'd have just said, "Hey, they're Iron Hands," I'd have been like, "Oh, I'll never forget now." Got it. I moved everybody up, which was a mistake. I realized because I'm used to playing Power Armored Space Marines.
It's the
so you
tough-
want to move up, especially when you get an extra 3 fucking inches of movement. Fuck, they were like,
It's that tough, durable Eldar against the fast, fragile Death Guard. How'd that work out, Dave?
smooth like butter.
Oh man.
Now, as someone who's played Craft World Eldar
Yeah.
before, I played them for about... I feel I'm okay with Craft World Eldar. The moment I see you advancing all of your Guardians forward to within, like, 12 inches of me, pretty much, and I'm like, well, what you doing?
Hey there, buddy.
So I gambled on being able to take out the Myphitic Blight Hauler in the first turn.
Oh.
And failed. So it was one of those. I did the math in my head. I was like, all right, I got 10 Guardians, 9 of which are going to get 2 shots with no penalty because I can advance up and I can get within 12 inches, so I can actually shoot them.
I'm gonna tell you something, buddy. If a
Go for it.
Taunar supremacy suit can't kill 1 Mythic Blight Hauler in 1 round of shooting, I don't think a squad of Guardians is going to do it.
Well, I know that now.
Now I know that.
Yeah, now.
Hindsight.
On paper, it seemed like I was going to take you out, but Sometimes the dice.
Sometimes them's the dice.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I roll really hot and you start rolling really crappy, and then you swap me dice when I'm not paying attention, and then I can't.
That's fair. Even though we were all playing in my house, I did not bring a tape measure or dice.
Yeah, it was kind of entertaining.
How?
I'm really glad that I did bring that tape measure though, because Stanley. They're what the pros use.
You were really angling for that Stanley man.
Well, I knew we were going to lose 4 Loco.
It really makes me want to make like one of our fun fake adverts where it's just like whatever's in reach, the choice of the professional. Because I feel that's more accurate than Stanley.
I like
for a specific name
Stanley when every inch counts.
Yeah, right?
Water glasses when every inch counts.
Oh man, it works it works in everything.
It sure does. But yeah.
Bud Light when every inch counts.
I managed to get my I did get my tanks in finally. So I was going to start building them, but our buddy Nate asked if he could borrow them and said he was going to build them because he wanted to try out the list. And I said, sure.
I think he just kind of sat and got drunk and looked at the bags.
He did the exact same thing I did, which was not build them. So
okay,
I got to run over there actually when we're done here tonight and pick them up because I need to get them built and 3 colors and based before States so I can use them.
That's the 19th and 20th of 18th and 19th
18th and 19th
of May for those who are interested in following along on BCP
or showing up.
Oh sure, yeah, come to States, please. That's the official advertisement for States.
Can you imagine? You know what? I would love to see people come up to States. Could you imagine somebody coming up here and winning the state championship from Washington?
That'd be fine. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Leaving with it. And the riot that other people would have.
Defending champion Adam Wachowski is not coming to defend his title this year because his wife planned a baby shower that day.
And he's excited too.
Oh, dude, baby showers are rad.
Yeah.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah. I found a bunch of cool games I really wish we'd played now at R1.
Oh, yeah.
There's one that was like porn star or childbirth. Where it just
I've
shows you
seen
like
that.
a bunch of faces of women and you have to guess whether she's having sex or giving birth.
Spoiler
That's
alert.
a great one.
Yeah.
They're all having sex.
Yeah, they're all having sex.
At some point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah. There's a bunch of great games in there. But yeah.
But yeah,
come up.
Other than that, I finished my guys. Finished them all the way up. I feel good about it. I put a little tried to do a little fancy glow on the
Pulled a
on
little
the hand
sneaky
of
on
the
there.
Farseer.
Cool.
Make it look like he's casting some sort of power. And then so pictures are up of that already, obviously for mine, and Cody's going to be sending me his later. So
Yep.
get those up too.
Perfect. And
We will all have met our first round goals.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Well, I completed, like we said, my first round goals. So I did a squad of 10 cultists, a little mythic blight hauler, converted up a little chaos lord.
He looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really do much. I just cut off the top knot because I'm not a fan of top knots for non-Scythonian chaos guys.
Sure. Yep.
And then I cut off the Thunderhammer hand and gave him a Plague Axe instead from the Plague Marine kit. Accidentally called it a Chain Axe in game when I should have called it a Blight Sword in game because that's way better. But live and learn. As I find like saying wailing away on a Farseer for 2 turns of combat.
Well, why don't we call it a Blight Axe from now on?
Oh yeah, Blight Axe. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We good with that? I mean, it's dripping pus.
It is.
Yeah.
Just like Dave's mom.
There it is.
I don't have the drum roll lined up on this one.
Oh, that's a shame.
That would have gone really good there. But we got those done. Like I said, I played Dave on our little 4x4 table.
Yeah,
that battle,
how did that game go for you?
That battle's actually up on our YouTube page under Mob Rules Live. The last Mob Rules Live we put up, and that was a real fun little battle. And it was a lot of fun. And it was kind of like we're both sort of feeling out and learning what our lists do a little bit. And kind of charging in, just me consistently charging in with the Blight Hauler wherever. Like, I think the game lasted 4 turns.
Yeah, longer than Danny's game.
For sure.
Yeah.
4 turns out of 4, I'm charging your entire army with my Blight Hauler. And for 2 of those turns, I was stuck on 1 wound, and I had 1 command point, and I was actively trying to get it to die.
I was actively trying to kill it.
So that it would blow up and kind of do the mortal wounds with the Death Guard stratagem, but it made all of its saving throws. If it didn't make its saving throw, it made it disgustingly resilient.
Yeah, it was magical.
What a champ.
Yeah.
What a champ.
I mean, I did have that one Guardian that lasted like 3 rounds.
He did last a while, and then the Chaos Lord focused on him, and then he went away.
With his chain axe.
Yeah, with his chain axe. -1 AP is really effective against Guardians, who I forgot are 5 up.
Yeah.
I've been running nothing but Dire Adventures so long.
Oh, yeah.
That when he's like, yeah, there are 5 ups, I'm like, oh, that's really bad.
They have cool strats to make them live longer.
Yeah, they do have a lot of
And I
stuff.
forgot that you could actually take wounds on the platform,
Oh,
which
yeah,
has
that helps
which has
also.
a 3 up. So
Which Danny also reminded you.
yeah, well,
After you'd already lost a lot of Guardians.
after you let me.
I found out Chaos Lords do not have disgustingly resilient.
Yep.
It's, I think, sad little oversight right there. But yeah, a couple things from the Death Guard book. They don't have disgusting wisdom. I had always assumed. I mean, I've never run a Chaos Lord before. I think that's why. But
Right.
I'd always assumed that everything had disgustingly resilient. But no. The other thing I learned looking at it is Death Guard cultists still have Veterans of the Long War.
Oh, all cultists. Well, Legion cultists still have it too.
I thought it was taken away.
I thought it was taken away.
In the back of Chaos Codex 2.0, I thought there was a section saying that they weren't.
No, they don't get to use the Legion trait.
Oh, the Legion
Oh.
trait. Well, my guys do.
Oh, that's cool. So they get the cool rapid fire?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because, like, there's no, like, they didn't
At least until the
FAQ.
FAQ team gets a bunch of
Wow.
angry emails from me.
And then they'll fix it in 6 months. But, basically, I've been sitting here in, like, in a holding pattern, making weird bullshit lists, waiting for this FAQ to come out. FAQ comes out, doesn't really change anything.
No,
for
not
me.
for you.
Not for me. Like, the Death Guard one
don't
was,
think-
like, a page that was there already. So, yeah, for me, it didn't really change anything.
I feel like it didn't change anything for me either. So I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing it changed was with the Castellan going up in points and the 4-up save going away has made me look at Mortarion again because I feel he might be a little bit more viable with
Sure, it's possible.
less things trying to one-shot him turn 1. But aside from that, I got 2 kind of second-hand Blight Haulers that I'm trying to kind of prep up and get ready for round 2 of our Urban Conquest.
Nice. How many power level are those guys?
7 each. Ooh. So,
Yeah.
next week I'm just adding literally 2 Blight Haulers.
Nice.
But I think that's kind of the way to go just because they give that +1 to hit when you have 3 of them. And then all of those multi-meltas with +1 to hit rerolling ones. I'm going to need them when I take on Cody's Flyrant.
You know, I was not expecting as many weapons that they had.
They do have a lot.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Yeah, they have 3 weapons apiece, which is pretty cool.
They have
Yeah.
3 shooting weapons. They have a close combat weapon. They're speedy. There's
Especially if you have roads. By the
Yeah.
way, I'm bringing a desert map next time. Fuck your road shit.
I have a desert map, but I'm going to lay down some felt and be like, hey, these are roads now. But yeah,
I have a rolled up official GW road that we can cut to size if we
Heck
want.
yeah.
Oh, man.
We're going all old school. Yeah. Aside from that, I haven't really been up to anything. Like I said, getting ready the 18th and 19th of this month. All 3 of us are going to be playing in a GT up here, 2-day, 5-round event at our local store, Tier 1 Cards and Games, which we're all super excited for.
Oh, yeah. We're jammed.
So now that kind of the rules have been locked in and finalized, I can go in and finish kind of painting my list or stealing all of Danny's models because I want to run something weird, which is the more likely thing at this point. It's kind of flip-flopping between running like 90 Plague Bearers and as many Great Unclean ones as I can get my hands on, or a Warhound Titan.
Nice.
That's kind of the 2 options I'm leaning towards right now.
Warhound. Why?
Just a Warhound with
not?
2 double flamers.
think
And just have it run up and run up, flame, charge every turn, and then back off.
Oh, man. That's the worst.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is not good. But there is a bar next to that store.
So, yeah.
And I have a gift card to there for some reason.
Ooh.
So I'm going to treat myself. But yeah,
Treat
that's
yourself.
about all we've been up to. Oh yeah, I bought new audio equipment, but I mean, I've already talked ad nauseum about that.
Oh, you're gonna mention it like 16 more times.
I'll
this
mention it
episode.
60 more times next
very
episode
proud.
when we're using it. If anyone wants to hear me write a 3-page essay on why I'm excited for it,
How would we want to hear you write it?
you know where my email address is.
It's like click, 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 click.
Oh,
click.
in my head it was quill and pen.
Oh.
It's just
I am taking an English course next semester, Dave, for writing. So I think I'll need that, and you'll be able to hear that exclusively through our email.
A lot of cursing.
Yeah, through cursive. But yeah, that's about all we've been up to. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with something. Maybe.
Dude, I'm the best. I took first place at another tournament.
First off, stop with the thunder and lightning. You don't impress me. And second, let me check out the BCP rankings. And I don't see you on there.
What?
Your TO needs to download the Best Coast Pairings app and run events on it. After the event, the results are uploaded into BCP rankings, and the best part, it's easy and free.
But I play multiple game systems.
No big deal. The BCP app can be used for any game. A ton of events every weekend are using it, from major international tournaments to local stores. And now that it's available on Android devices, you're going to have some serious competition.
There can be only one.
BCP Rankings is a fun and exciting way to measure how you or your team stack up. No matter what you play, your score goes to an overall ranking, or compete to be the best in a game, a circuit, a region, or the world.
Download the app or visit www.bestcoastpairings.com for more info.
Best Coast Pairings.
Are you the best?
All right, we are back. We are.
I gotta tell you, John, listening to that advertisement, you know, it kind of cuts me a little bit deep, given that I'm now the only member of this podcast that isn't actually ranked in the ITC rankings right now.
That's right. You're
Hey,
unranked.
That's shocking.
So my first
You have to show up to an event to get ranked.
You do.
first goal was being ahead of John in the rankings is already crushed.
Maybe, and you're actually 1-1 against me now.
Oh,
I don't want to talk
You're
about
no
that.
longer undefeated against me. Your bold strategy of charging headlong into a toughness 7.
You know what? I'm fairly certain that in the FAQ update
man.
is something that will justify my tactics.
False.
False.
For future reference.
Will it reduce any of my guns below strength 6?
I don't know.
no.
No.
No?
No.
All right.
Hey, so an FAQ happened, like a little one. The twice in a year FAQ happens April, happens again in November, I believe, where they look at
No, it's supposed to happen in August, but it won't happen until November.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got to keep the community bitching about something.
Well, I mean, they can't release it in October. That's October,
It's
right?
too spooky.
Too spooky for
So,
you. Yeah.
FAQ Vember is way too obvious there.
Fact member.
But Fackrel,
And it makes you give thanks.
Fackrel, April came, and it wasn't even on the last day. Like I was going around, and I think people like sometimes look at like the fact that we get review products sometime. And when I'm like, yeah, they're going to release on Tuesday. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. It's coming on Tuesday. I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's just the last day in April. So if it comes early,
Oh,
great.
yeah. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, okay, cool. I'm like, I have no idea if that's true or not, but I'm just going to say it.
Don't get me wrong. We would have loved to have seen the FAQ early
Oh, yeah, sure.
and done, you know,
Absolutely nothing with it.
Written-
If we're being honest with you.
Oh, man. I just would have been building a lot of army lists.
it
Yeah.
would have just been Danny.
Danny's posting all these lists to our local groups and be like,
I
why
would've
the
just
fuck
like
are you using
Charlie
those?
Day and the string theory up on the wall making lists.
Pepe Sylvia.
Incubi and Yanari now. Destroy transports. But yeah, so
Always in 40K.
I printed out the just kind of the update, the designer notes, because there's lots of little changes and things that were made in kind of the main army codexes and the updates there. Danny, you have any kind of you want to point out there's going to be like major changes?
So
There weren't any major changes.
let's talk about overall first.
Okay. Yeah.
So one of the things that I like about this is it's not like there's not a ton of real rules changes, right? It's like it's just a lot of clarifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good because people try to
I think-
play gotcha 40K.
Sure.
My favorite part was the description, speaking of this, of wobbly model, where they say, "We're a bit surprised by these questions. Our intent was they should serve only as a hint or tip to prevent models from getting damaged should be placed where it would be in danger of falling." I call this their "don't be a dick" rule.
Yep.
That's being misinterpreted over the years for maximum benefit.
I actually don't like this. I think that they should have, but that's okay.
For what?
Wobbly model. Like, I hate the idea of a unit being unassaultable because it's standing on a barrel. Like, that shit's stupid.
But they have the high ground.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're right.
Well, but that has nothing to do with wobbly model, right? I thought wobbly model was
You can't get in base-to-base contact with it.
No,
Or within an inch.
I thought wobbly model was that it you took it off.
Well, I don't like anything being in a position where it's unassailable. Like, if it's landing on top of like terrain, if it's because of the terrain on the table. Okay. If it has a rule like it's a plane, fine. But like if it's at the top level of a building and its base is so big that like it just blocks the entirety of the level that it's on, you can't fit any models up there, that sucks. Like that should not be a rule in the game.
There shouldn't be a way where you can interact with something.
Right, exactly. In that way. Because assault is already hard enough. Like you have to do a bunch of stuff in order to get there. You have to roll really well to like get to like the model.
I mean, survive some Overwatch.
Right. So there's a lot of qualifiers that you have to make in order to get to actually be able to get into assault. And like for them to say, well, yeah, you can't actually assault this unit because there's too many of them on the roof of this building. Well, okay, neat.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked the clarification they did at LVO, where as long as like the tip of your base could actually fit onto like a piece of the terrain on that level, you count as being up there. So at least that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure something similar will continue to go forward.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
The Edge of the Battlefield one's great.
That's great.
I love it.
This is going to be like the first of several things we see kind of counteracting some people's issues with flyers.
You know, I mean,
and some super heavy tanks.
I want to like it, but I mean, there are some models that apparently just don't fit in deployment zones now. So,
well, maybe you shouldn't bring those models to a regular game.
Well,
don't
tell me how. Don't force my narrative, Danny.
I will. I just did.
If we look at it honestly, if someone goes to me and they're like, "Hey, I have, say, a Marauder bomber. By the rules, I can't place it in a deployment zone." I'm not going to be an asshole and be like, "Well, I guess it's fucking dead then." I'm going to be
I would.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, "Hey,
depends how big the game
you have
is.
to deploy it as far, as far back as possible, like within. So the minimum is outside that zone." Then this is kind of going back to the discussing it with your opponent.
Sure.
Right. GW isn't going like if you sit there and you try and deploy a Marauder and you and your opponent agree that it can be a little out of your deployment zone model wise or a little off the table model wise. GW isn't going to come down and be like, "Hey, Dick, that's against the rules. Get that fuck off the table right now."
I mean, you don't know that.
It's a game about a little plastic spaceman. And they're not going to come down and stop you from house ruling stuff like that. Or like if you discuss it with your TO beforehand, like, "Hey, I want to take a Marauder. Is it okay if I do that?" If they say no, like, cool. If they say yes, like, just discuss it beforehand. I mean, that's all that goes into it. This is necessary because we're having situations where like flyers are trying to make these 45-degree turns to go where they physically can't, or they're like they have a minimum distance to move and they're stopping, so their base is on their table but part of their model is off, and that's kind of gaming the system a little bit there.
Sometimes sponsons don't fit when you infiltrate, so
I think it's there to defeat stuff like that and not to make your army unplayable. Like, it's all about just having a conversation about it.
Yeah, or like outflanking a Shadow Sword isn't something that you can really do anymore if it has sponsons.
I mean, that's good, though, because there's no way you should be able to sneak a fucking super heavy tank around the side of a battlefield.
Agree. Hard agree.
I mean, obviously, you don't remember reading Shadow Sword because that's exactly what they did.
I don't have the footstep, like the robot footstep sound lined up, but I feel like that would be like the...
That's a good counter to your argument.
That would be
if a Shadow Sword had legs, it'd be a great argument.
Did we secure the flank? What's that?
It's probably not a 20-ton war machine.
It's probably that Marauder bomber coming in behind us. Now that it can finally get onto the
finally outflank.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. This is the next one here on the list is my favorite change from their FAQ.
So this is your third favorite change. Got it.
Yeah.
Have I said favorite for everyone
Yeah,
so
if
far?
if you're ranking favorite changes, this is number 3.
This is number 3.
It's also number 3 on the
It's
list.
also number 3 on the list. But it's a really good change. So let me kind of rephrase and reduce my positivity a little bit. It's a really good change. It's disembarking from destroyed transports. Basically, it is saying if you have to disembark from your transport because it's destroyed, you can't charge that turn. That's a great change.
Yep. Agree.
It means I can't suicide a Land Raider up the board, hoping that it dies, so that I can get that extra bit of movement the next turn.
So you wouldn't say.
What do you mean the next turn? You mean that turn?
Oh, that
Yeah,
turn.
that
Yeah,
turn.
even yeah.
Because the whole point of this, what people would often do is take a unit like
slap
a rhino,
yeah,
right?
and sprint it at you, and then charge you. And when you killed it with Overwatch, they would.
No, what they would do is shoot overcharged plasma guns, so that they hope they roll a 1, explode the rhino, get out 3 inches,
And then go forward.
and then assault
Wait.
with the squad of Marines.
Because rhinos
Or
count
berserkers.
rhinos count as overtopped,
No.
open topped.
No,
No, I mean like they have
no,
fire ports.
a combi plasma gun that's pencil mounted because you can buy that for rhinos.
Oh,
Like I don't know, that's one.
There-
thing.
there's ways
or
of
die to
doing it.
Overwatch.
isn't that
Yeah.
just a chaos version of the rhino though? I didn't think you could do that on regular space.
but
Marine
there's
rhinos.
ways to do
No,
it.
just chaos ones.
Okay.
But if it's full of berserkers, that's a legit strategy kind of.
Yeah. It's a 72-point warp time that you can't fail, really.
Yep.
So,
I mean, you got to roll once.
I mean, I can't fail.
So I would have blown.
Other
it up in
people
my-
can.
I would have blown it up in my deployment zone.
So ideally, you shoot at something like an LATOC flyer that's 24 inches away or something. So you're like minus a billion.
Yeah.
You're like, cool.
No.
Okay, I just need a 1, 2, or 3. Oh, all right, cool. Let's
Cool.
get out,
It
boys.
blew up.
Yay!
Oh, no. Rats. But it's a great change, which again is just to what Danny said earlier, is clarifying the rules and kind of their intent behind it.
Yep.
We're seeing kind of this is FAQ of rules as intended.
And they give some good explanations of why for each of these points, which I like too. It makes, I don't know, it like humanizes them or whatever and makes them sound like, hey, we're just people and we want to play by fun stuff.
Yeah.
Not necessarily this broken ass shit.
I like that they said that they have other things to contend with, like crawling out of the flaming wreckage of their former transport.
So,
Which makes sense.
yeah, sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
berserkers would be angry though, and probably still charge anyway.
Yeah, eventually.
Fluff.
It really takes kind of like the anime style entrance out of it for me, where like the rhino just comes up and explodes, and all these berserkers jump out like, yeah,
Like with the explosion.
Yeah, force like they're shot out of it.
like a berserker cannon.
Fragmentation grenade. Yeah.
Hey, Danny, for the second straight FAQ, moving with units that can fly have seen a change.
Thank God. This was a great change,
Yeah.
actually.
The last change to make it so that you couldn't assault over
So,
was kind of okay, but at the same token, it just meant as long as I spread my dudes out, you know.
well, this fixes some of the stuff. And, like, granted, I like the idea of screens becoming more valuable, but they're already very valuable. But this definitely gives some utility, especially to, like units like armies like Harlequins with flip belts.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, their whole deal is to be able to, like,
Yeah.
go where they want to go. So I was appreciative of this rule quite a bit. And then also wraiths for Necrons because they can phase in and out of reality. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty good. I do like the ability to charge over stuff.
So the actual change takes it back to being a jump pack smash captain can now assault a Castellan if there was one on the table. There won't be, but if there was one,
Sure.
he could now assault it past the Imperial Guard. If
Absolutely.
the Imperial Guard player,
if you roll high enough.
or if the Imperial Guard player doesn't place his screens very well. Mm-hmm. But
Sure.
I think the important thing here is they do specify that you cannot go over buildings.
Yep.
That's the key to that.
A unit. Yeah,
A unit.
you can fly over units, just not units that are buildings or terrain.
Yeah.
You still have to pay the charge penalty or like the charge movement to get over that stuff.
So this is when we hide our Castellan behind an Aegis line,
That is not a building.
behind an Imperial bunker.
There you go.
There you go.
although the idea of a smash captain launching
Growling.
himself over a 3-story building and coming down, hammer just swinging, is kind of appealing to me. Even though you can't do that anymore, but just it's
It's too much gas, man.
His jump pack doesn't move that far.
His jump pack only has a certain
Shit's
tank
old,
size.
dude.
You know,
It's like
I'm just saying-
1,000 years old.
Look, I'm just saying, if
He's got that new of a jump pack.
Yeah, right.
the Castellan's standing on the other side, an inch away from the building, so you could get down. Technically, you'd have the downward movement by default because you don't need the gas. You're falling. With
You
style.
don't need the gas.
We need the gas
You
to
need-
stop.
No, that's you stop with the hammer in the head of the Castellan.
You
Like
stop
a-
by hopefully
like an ice
landing on the
pick.
thing you're hitting.
You know, like one of those climbers on Everest who's sliding down and needs to stop
Yeah.
by
Fair
ice
enough.
picking. And
Then it goes into it and kind of specifies it by different armies, different kinds of things, and kind of how that works there. But that's, I think, a really good rollback. And I think a great sign showing kind of GW listening to feedback where, hey, we did this as a reaction to things that were happening. It was a little too much, and just kind of dialing it back there. So
Yep.
that was super good.
Which was great.
Hey, we have a new category of thing.
Oh,
a new keyword.
Yeah, so the aircraft got a keyword. So if it has a fly move and a minimum distance, then it gains the aircraft keyword. Oh wow,
wow,
Powerful.
That was
Scared
very
the shit
powerful.
out
I
of
made
me, actually.
Dave jump.
You did. I wasn't.
Dave pooped himself a little
I've
bit.
never heard you
Dude,
open a
that
can
smells
like that.
so bad, Dave. You need to change your diaper.
Luckily, I'm smelling Bud Light, which is the same smell.
I was
Oh,
gonna say.
yeah, it's all the same to John.
I
John
thought at first you were
slurps it up.
talking about his Bud Light because I was like,
No.
hey, I can actually smell the Bud Light because of the spray that came off it, like a fine ocean mist.
All right, stop trying to get a sponsorship but from Bud Light or
that's-
Budweiser.
it's more
God,
prestigious.
I'm never gonna try for that. Don't worry.
Yeah, fuck. Four Loco all day.
Yeah.
Bud Light?
I
Nope.
I want nothing to do with
fact-
this giant fucking.
In fact, I've
Conglomerate.
currently got Anheuser-Busch on our spam filter for our email. It just goes right into the trash.
They keep trying to contact me. I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyway, so aircraft. I actually think these rules are. Let's see here. Hold on. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe
Poopy?
this.
Like my diaper.
This doesn't go far enough to address the aircraft issue.
So it's
So
like
like a
2% aluminum
like
tax.
a Band-Aid over a gunshot wound.
Yeah, and also the rules are weird. Like they're kind of poorly written in a way. So you can't charge over an aircraft. You can only move past an aircraft. Like because even though the rules would allow you to do that, they have this one caveat. Whenever a model makes any kind of move, it can be moved within 1 inch of an enemy aircraft and can be moved across such models and their bases as if they weren't there, but cannot end their move on top of another model or its base, and it cannot end within 1 inch of any enemy units. So that means that you can't charge anything on the other side.
So at this point now we're using flyers as turn 1 smash captain protections.
Sure, or just like if you place them like far enough back, they'll block movement too because you can't move past their base. Their base is pretty big.
Yeah. But it's a start. And we
Yeah,
see
it's-
kind of
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure. You're right.
and we see that acknowledgement that kind of the flyers are an issue. We see the aircraft rule coming in for ships with a minimum move distance. So
Yeah.
this Helldrakes aren't affected by this. They don't have a minimum move distance.
Right.
I think some of the guys who can change between movement and minimum move and regular move,
Yep.
they are still affected by this, right? Or
Correct.
Right.
And so that comes into effect for the last part of it. If a unit is selected in the movement phase and the only enemy models within 1 inch of it are aircraft, it can still make a move and doesn't have to fall.
Which is great because in the past I have lost models to being locked in combat as
Sure.
a flyer. Like I've had one of my kind of Wraith fighters like consolidated into by like a bike captain, like a custodian bike captain. Can't attack him.
Oh.
Right, he was like can't attack him because he wasn't a charge target, but like consolidates into him, and at that
Well,
point,
you still get to fight him.
I get to fight him, but I can't break off.
Yeah, you can.
We can.
You have fly.
Fucking cheater.
Well,
Why
you-
are you looking at me? It
I
wasn't me.
mean, you can't do it until your next movement phase.
Yeah.
But what this does is it stops. This really stops people from putting their flyer into hover mode and assaulting stuff, and then locking it in combat.
Yeah.
So, like, I've seen some things where people have used vultures, for instance, to like go into hover mode and try point a knight, and it can't leave.
Yeah.
Right, because you have to be more than an inch away.
Right.
Just 3 little dudes like really angrily buzzing around.
Well, the vulture's the Valkyrie. Like,
I think this would be little compared to a knight.
oh, I don't know. It's pretty
No, it's pretty
man.
big. Yeah, it's pretty beefy. But still, it's an irritating thing to do.
So that's a thing that you don't have to worry about, or you don't have to fall back from, or not count as falling back from.
All right.
So aircraft, it's a start, but not quite far enough yet.
There we go. We'll see.
This next one, resetting up models. There has been an increasing amount of units and stratagems and abilities to kind of remove a unit from the battlefield and reset it up, or kind of Tide of Traders or other such things where you kind of remove it and kind of bring it back on at full strength. There's been kind of a lot of questions about what happens to any kind of buffs or things that are present for that unit, and this kind of clears that up.
It was good. This is good. This kind of just is a blanket, like a blanket addition to the game, so it covers all of those different instances, which is great.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, organized event guidelines.
This was also awesome. I was
Data
super
sheet
happy to see this.
clarifications. So yeah, Demon Princes from
Oh,
Codex Chaos Space Marines, Death Guard, and Thousand Suns are all considered to be the same data sheet.
Yep. So you can't have 12 Demon Princes anymore, just 3.
Suck
Can't
on
live the
that
dream.
one, Brady.
And also heavy weapon squads from IG.
Yep.
So there's like Krieg and Elysian heavy weapon squads. So
Yep.
potentially you could bring like 1 million mortar squads. Yeah, you can't do that
Which
anymore.
has been done.
It absolutely has been
but
done.
Looking
can
at
no
you,
longer be
Tim.
done. But yeah, that's kind of being squashed down, which I think it's all stuff that we knew was like how it should be, but at the same time we're able to abuse. And I think this extends onto it past to Hell Brutes, where 3 different data sheets for 1,000 Suns, Death Guard, and Chaos Space Marines, but essentially now same model. So no more taking 12 Hell Brutes.
Yep. Oh, stop.
So sad.
Did you not have the key? You didn't have the sad music queued up for that?
No.
The Sarah McLachlan.
no.
No, because I made that army list for fun, and it was terrible. So we finalized some beta rules that came out over the last few months.
Yay.
Bolter Discipline
I love Bolter Discipline.
adjusted slightly.
Can't believe they gave it to Custodes.
And finalized.
They did not.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
Bolter Discipline is dumb, and I hate it then.
Well, maybe your guys should be a little bit more disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Last time mopping
Sorry,
the
we're
floor.
super awesome golden gods. Bad at bolters. My bad.
Yep.
They're 5-star man.
They do not need the Bolter Discipline rule. Though.
You know who else doesn't need Bolter Discipline?
Apparently.
Death Watch with special ammo.
Also them.
So
And tanks.
I don't. Well, I mean,
Or vehicles.
let's be honest. Vehicles who aren't dreadnoughts
Right.
or Hellbirds.
Yep.
But I have to admit that this one is not that surprising to me, this change. Come on, Death Watch guys. You've got awesome ammunition. Do you really think that you should be able to shoot it twice just because you stood still?
I remember someone posted something about, I was like, yeah, I can't even shoot and wound things on a 2+ anymore with like double the shots. And I'm like, yeah, because that would be really fucking broken if you could do that. They're like, no, because like, no.
It
Let's
was.
step back and look
So,
at your army list
look at it.
unbiasedly.
Yeah.
Pepe Silva, that shit. It was broken.
Yeah.
They
Sorry, Kevin.
also finalized prepared positions as a stratagem, and they included now aircraft units, which again is great because they shouldn't get fortified
Yep,
positions.
They should not get special cover. Just
I
because they're
can.
in the
I mean, I
zone.
was waiting for my Warhound to like model him hunkered down in the pit that he made himself
behind a tree.
Behind
just
a tree.
One
He
tree.
scratched a hole in the earth like a giant chicken, and now he's like,
prepared position.
Yeah.
I forced my narrative. I should get my cover save for
mean,
my
if-
2-up model.
If we were playing a game, I'd give you first
Yeah.
round cover save once. Yeah, I'd give it to you.
I would not. You would get nothing from me.
And strangely enough, aircrafts thousands of miles in the sky are unable to prepare and hide. So again, good
Just
clarifying
behind that one
things.
cloud.
It seems to me like this is the FAQ of GW looking at games being played and be like, wait, what? No.
Like
No.
they had a couple people on stream at LVO and Adepticon, and they were just like, "Mark that down. We're gonna make a change."
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is exactly what happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying. It's
And
like,
they're like, hey, man, you can't do that. And they go to GW and like, show me in the rules where they say that. And like, well, shit, give me 3 months.
I got you, boo.
So they amended tactical restraint as well, and that's the one where you can only gain 1 command point back per turn or per battle round. And then they amended that so it doesn't affect pregame abilities.
Which,
That's great.
Which I actually, you know what? I know that Cody and I used that when we went to Vegas in that sense because we knew we could only gain one. So when I put somebody in the teleportarium and he did the same thing, as long as he set his guy up on the board, so we could get a chance to get that back.
Sure.
But I don't like it.
No,
Not at all.
yeah. I mean, I've used it myself. Sure,
Because
of course.
I don't think you should get pregame stuff back.
Agree.
If
That's
you're
an investment you're making in your army.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to get that for free, pretty much.
I mean, I'm not a fan of getting command points back, period. I think
It's thousands of people putting their warlord on the table first so that they can get that benefit there.
well, and
And when you have to game a rule that way, then it shouldn't be a thing.
when you've got a Kurovs and the captain, so that you're rolling for yours and theirs as they're spending it, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, it's a good thing, and it kind of, again, says that it's not limited for Moment's Jackal and Sevenfold Chant, which is a super good kind of clarification, but it does say whatever you earn back, that's it for that turn.
Right, yep.
So kind of gives those guys a little bit more of a better reason for being out
Same
of
thing
game
with
there.
Player in Twilight as well, which is
Right.
Harlequin Warlord trait. It's pretty good.
Tactical reserves finalized half your points cost. No more getting out the power level calculators.
Yep, and they've also clarified and amended
God.
all of the different stratagems that affect units that can kind of or you rules that let them infiltrate forward after you decide who's going first. Which is
Fucking Rangers got ruined forever.
I'm actually
False.
taking Rangers in our next round.
cool. I think Rangers are still great.
They're still great,
I mean,
but
I'm
I
not gonna-
can't get recon really easily.
Oh man, it was so dumb. Like I remember just getting behind
Broken.
enemy lines right off the bat, and my
Yeah.
opponent just being like, "This is stupid."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well,
That's
I mean,
stupid. I'm going to shoot that unit off the table. Cool. You're hitting on sixes.
What are you going to do? Right, GW?
Well, apparently, yes. That's
Yeah,
exactly
right.
what happened.
That's exactly what they did. Yeah.
This was the McDevitt rule, actually, as it's known.
There you go. Yeah. The only thing that still gets to keep this, as far as I'm aware, is Sporocysts and Meiotic Spores.
And scouts, right?
Oh yeah, scouts get to do it too. You're right.
Meiotics are, anywhere in the battlefield is more than 9 inches.
Oh, I guess Nurglings.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
How could I forget those little
Oh,
guys?
man.
Best troop
Danny,
choice.
do you have a
NA.
2,000 points of just Nurglings?
No.
I have a lot of Nurglings actually.
Man, I feel like I should run just 2,000 points of Nurglings.
No. Are Nurglings in the Death Guard Codex?
Yes.
They are.
Damn it, Mono Codex bullshit.
No, Mono Codex is dying. I'll go into that later.
No, you can't run them in monocodex.
Because you don't
They
have
don't
the
have
Death
the-
Guard keyword. They're in
Exactly.
there for ease of bookkeeping, for summoning and
For
stuff.
summoning. So you take one Chaos Sorcerer, one Sorcerer Boy, and summon
And summon.
1,900 points of Nurglings.
So now my big GT list is 3 Great and Clean ones, and then 1,100 points of Nurglings.
Oh, make sure to take the bell.
Mm-hmm. And then the Nurglings would just be like every unit I deploy is just filling up the middle of the battlefield. Oh, that sounds really fun, actually.
Some Nurglings sound to me like a bubble popping. I think like when they wake into existence. Like everybody else shows up. I'm sure the corn bloodletters get brought in. It's
Do you
like
know how Nurglings are created?
I don't
Dave?
want. It's by.
You should find out.
Oh yeah, tell me how they're created, Danny.
Well, someone has to eat something and be sick, and then the Nurglings come out when they take a poop.
They're butt babies.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Drop
there's
the
I mean-
kids
I mean,
off
I'm
at the
just
pool
saying,
just means
nobody's-
I gotta
so what
put some Nurglings in
What you're
the
saying
outhouse.
is when John gets his Chaos Sorcerer to summon some Nurglings, what he's actually doing is summoning a couple dudes with. with,
which I bought a really nice Death Guard lot, which has that awesome Forge Roll Nurgle Sorcerer.
Oh yeah, Necrosius.
Yeah.
No, dude, he's just taking a shit behind a building.
his Chaos Sorcerer.
Dumping out
it's all
Nurglings.
Nurglings. Yeah.
He passed his
Well, it's like 50%
summon
Nurglings.
roll. 50% shit.
Too much MSG.
Oh god.
So stratagems.
Lovely.
Stratagems. Imperial Knights. So long, Sweet Prince. Overpowered Castellan.
What are you talking about? This is all these changes are amazing. I think they're
Overpowered Castellan. Goodbye. Balanced Castellan within an Imperial Knight list. Hello.
I'm
GTFO. I don't want to see you anymore.
Get the fuck out of single knights. Like, I swear to God, like every Imperial Guard recruitment world has a single Castellan defending it.
yeah.
What do you mean, one? You mean like 50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a standard. It's a standard addition to any scouting force.
Boom, 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 boom.
If Katie had had as many Castellans as the Cadians have been running,
Still would have died. They fucking blew it up by throwing a ship at it.
Yeah.
No, a Blackstone fortress.
Rotate Iron Shields are now a max of a 4-up invulnerable save. Thank Christ.
Yes.
Look, I 3-up invuln save on a T8 item
With 26 wounds.
Come on any knight. I've been saying it for a long time that no knight should be able to get to 3-up. I don't care what you're rocking.
Nothing should be able to get to 3-up. Honestly, it should be very rare.
Okay.
So this is our argument that we have on a regular basis here on the podcast for those who have not been paying attention, and they should, because I firmly believe that nothing should have a 3-up unless it's something absolutely and utterly just magical, super awesome. The Thunder Shield, or Storm Shield, Thunder Shield, anything, 4-up.
4-up.
Oh, you guys are wrong.
No,
4-up.
I disagree. I'm sorry.
It's a 1-wound model, man.
So what?
So what? It's a 3-up save. It fails one. Okay, Dave. I'm just gonna put it this way. I killed 2 knights this weekend, like this last weekend, with Necrons by just shooting it with guns with no AP.
Yeah, well,
They
weight of
failed
fire.
saves.
Yeah, well, not
But
everybody
that's-
rolls like shit. Some people use weighted dice.
That's a bad argument.
So that's about, yeah. Okay, moving on. Yeah.
But I firmly
No
believe that they
super
should.
heavy should get a 3-up invulnerable
No.
save.
I don't
Absolutely
think anything
not.
that isn't a special character should get a 3-up invulnerable save. I'm sorry.
There's
That's me and my narrative.
There's
Okay.
yeah. There's nothing more
That's
frustrating
not comp based. or
than
anything.
dumping all
know.
of my shots and punches into a squad
Giving Danny the finger.
and having one guy tank all of the hits.
Yeah,
That's just demoralizing. I mean, it's not interactive when statistically almost 70% of all of my wounds will be ignored because of a 5-point upgrade or 10-point upgrade.
Well, you better make sure you put 3 times as many shots as you need to kill him into him.
I do.
how many storm shields do Thunderwolf Cavalry have, and how many wounds do
They
they have?
usually take 2 in a squad of 5 or 6, right?
How many wounds do they
Well, I
have?
think that all of them take him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, almost all.
I don't know. They're like 10 points a model now. It's pretty cheap. I think they have 3 wounds a model.
Right,
Maybe.
so it's a 3-wound
Or maybe
model.
they're 2 wounds. I think they're 3 though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
But, I mean, you
It's
see
a
what I'm saying? It's
Custode.
like, yeah, except with a better armor save.
No.
And
A Thunderwolf?
yeah, a 3-up invuln.
Well, Custodes can have 3-up
Is that
invulns.
what was? I'm sorry. Are we boring you?
No,
with
no.
our
I
in-depth-
was rubbing my forehead.
I thought you were
like-
slapping your forehead on the mic. Like I can't believe we're having this discussion
and my
again
headphone
every
then
weekend.
hit the microphone.
Got it.
Well, yeah, but Custodes have 3-up invulnerable saves.
Don't make me turn
4-up
this,
invulnerable saves, unless you
Unless
take a shield.
Take a storm shield.
Right. I'm saying,
guys. Don't make me turn this into a formal debate.
Oh man, I will crush you.
only
he's-
because of your
he's,
immense penis.
and
Oh,
his-
shit, that was nearly
That's
offensive.
false.
Yeah.
And his bird law.
Yeah,
knowledge
my
of
mastery of
law.
bird law.
So yeah, Ion
Glove
Shield.
doesn't fit, Danny. You must acquit.
The
Hey.
Lord of Change.
Death Grip. Death Grip got a small fac as well.
You know what?
You can so
I'm so glad that they finally fixed Death Grip because
They call this Dave's rule.
Yeah,
the Dave rule.
because my dick doesn't work anymore. I've been just
Oh man, you just squeezed the life right out of it. It could not roll a 6 to save its life.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah. Roll a 6, you get out.
I actually like all the rules that are based on this because
I
there
do
should
too.
always be a way that
Yeah.
somebody can fail.
There should be some interaction. Like
Yeah.
it goes back to like the time we played a couple tournaments ago, where like I cast this psychic power on your tank, and it's dead because
Because of the stupid rules.
of the rules.
And now that won't
And
happen
you're like,
anymore.
not
I
sorry.
mean, it'll still happen. You still have to roll a 6. But
Yeah, but if you get 12 chances to roll a 6, you're probably going to roll one.
Right.
Probably.
oh well, maybe you would. I
I think
Hopefully.
statistically you should roll one twice over.
statistically I should roll quite a few of them, but
So,
I
so
won't.
yeah, Death Grip for Imperial Knights, Mental Onslaught for Gene Stealer Cult. If your
Heck yeah.
opponent rolls a 6, then you're donezo. No more auto-killing single giant wound models. And no more stacking up giant leadership buffs. I mean, it almost even makes that army build a little worthless. I mean, it's still powerful, sure.
Yeah.
But you have a 1 in 6 chance of just get the fuck outing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you think about it, and this was brought up on Best in Faction. I was
gonna say,
Colin made a point. Yeah, our
Sister
yes, whatever.
podcast, Best in Faction.
My
We're
God,
like,
Dave, you put us so
Stop,
high up.
Oh my God. Anyway, so
we're all in this together, Danny. It's like
Colin made the point that like, and he's sort of right in that like there's a
he's
50.
always sort of right is what I want.
Sure. So is everybody. So
That's
if
not
you
true.
50% of the time you're going to roll a 6 within 3 wounds of causing that, right?
Right.
60% of the time,
every
time.
100% of the time.
So you just invested a sizable chunk of points and detachments to load your psychic powers to make this power happen.
Yep.
And then after 3 wounds,
It might, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 1 wound.
yeah.
It could happen the first time.
Oh, it would if it was me casting it on somebody.
Sure. Or if I'm trying to roll to wound a hive tyrant with a rocket launcher. All right. So, so moving on, we have the Imperial Assassin stratagem.
Great fucking change.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I mean, it's not too much. It's not too little.
It is now 2 command points to bring an assassin if you didn't have one in your army list.
to sideboard an assassin. Which I feel is an appropriate amount. And I want, I still want to use it. I know a lot of people are like, "What, true command points? Fuck that." It's like, come on.
I was a little bummed that they excluded Fallen.
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought that would have been. I thought that would have been cool. Because they have the Imperial keyword or Imperium keyword. I don't know, but whatever. That's fine.
I mean, I think
I also like the fact that it
Cypher.
it specifies that you cannot already have an assassin in your army to use the stratagem.
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
So you can't, have a Vindicator and then now I'm going to take double Vindicator because of this guy or these characters. So it kind of specifies that a little bit as well. So I'm a big fan of kind of that there because thematically, if you're doing the operative requested sanction, what's the adversary going to show up and be like, what the fuck's Phil doing here?
I thought you said you needed some help.
Did you double book us?
So, I mean, and it goes to
what's up, Frank? Oh,
to how
fucking
the
Phil.
Yeah, it goes to how these guys are like really rarely deployed. So yeah, I liked that was put in there as well.
Not last time. I mean, Vindicators, yes, but not Calexis.
Hey,
like people
we really need
16 of them on the table each time.
Hey, Alec, Dave is going to be emailing you to do us a comp for the picture of like an art of an Eviscer assassin sitting on a lazy boy with like a beer gut. Like looking at a pager that says Operation Request Sanction, like while holding like a beer, maybe wearing some shorts or something like that.
Oh, like he's in
Some boxer shorts.
Like
Some
he's in a
shorts.
Hawaiian pineapple
Like a-
shirt.
Oh, yeah,
open,
there you go.
It's just
Yeah.
open on his chest.
And he's like,
Dude, on the beach, even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, on the beach, and he's got. I was like, I'm halfway through the season of the Golden Girls. And
Oh,
go
yeah.
to Acadia.
No, all right. You know what? Stop right there.
That's pretty good.
Do not besmirch the wonderful name of the Golden Girls.
I didn't. That's why I included it in that great joke / t-shirt pitch. Hey, Mob Up is now not good. I do love the little designer notes they gave here. We underestimated the efficiency of certain other stratagems found inside Codex Orcs when used on certain units of mobbed up Orc infantry.
Look, they should have just listened to the podcast that the two of you did, because I knew about it as soon as I listened, because I could hear your erections through the microphones.
Yeah. I went through boxes trying to find all my freaking Ludas because I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah, now people are just going to go back to taking 1 unit of 15 Ludas, I think, all the time.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
They're still good.
Oh, that's
Although,
you're so sad. I wish I had a camera on you for that.
Ludas
Danny.
are not nearly as good as they were for a couple of reasons, and not just this reason. They also have to roll a D3 every single time they shoot now, instead of once for the phase. So the idea is that you would roll and try and get that 3 on the first time, and then shoot them again, so that they get to carry the 3 on for the rest of the phase. But now you have to roll every single time they shoot.
Good. Fucking Ludas.
Well, fair.
Hey, speaking about painful changes to existing strategy, Craft World Psychic Powers.
Oh, good. This is great.
So, I mean, maybe it's because I'm so new to the Craft World sexiness. but I didn't care about this. Now, I get why people would care about this.
Do you know why you should care
Do you know
about it?
Derek Massey?
Do you know why you should care about it?
I mean, not biblically.
So I went to a team tournament with co-founding Snake, Nate, and he ran Imperial Guard. I had my Eldar.
Solid list.
They were solid lists.
I mean, no, not yours. His.
My own list was pretty solid too,
No.
but I cast Doom on an enemy target, and Nate's Shadow Sword could reroll all of his wounds. And the TO comes over and is like, yeah, you can do that. I'm like, show me in the codex where it says that it's only Eldar units that affect it. And in Codex Craft Worlds, it just says all friendly units reroll to wounds.
Now, like I said,
That is broken as shit.
just because I'm just now getting into craft rules doesn't mean that I don't appreciate this. Like, it doesn't bother me that they did this. You know, I understand it.
It's still a
completely.
super solid power.
Yeah.
It's still a really good
I mean, it just means everybody should
casting
take more
cost.
War Walkers.
Sure.
I mean, sure. That's where
It's
you
only
want to go
4
with that.
power level. Bright Lance it up. Just saying.
I don't have the crickets on this one either.
I know, that's why I went with this.
But they're super solid
Weird.
changes. They're still great powers. I mean, we're really trying to cut down on Eldari soup. We're trying to cut down on Yunari kind of overpower,
Stew.
kind of picking the best pieces of every Eldari faction.
Okay, but it doesn't have to just be that. I mean, they're trying to balance out soup a little bit across the board.
Sure.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think soup 100% has its place. I think it's perfect. I mean, to be able to do that from a fluff perspective, you know.
I think it's funny when the leaks for the Yunari index came out, and everyone's like, "Huh, I'm still going to be able to Doom because the keywords are still right." And I'm sitting here reading it, I'm like, "Oh, I'm like 90% sure you're going to be unhappy by the end of April." There's a reason they're making you rename everything keyword wise to Reborn Azerni.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, like I said, good changes all around. Dave, you as a recent Craft World player, you're saying
Well, and I'm only playing Mono Codex Craft World right now, so it's
this is all I played.
yeah. Well, no, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm not working in any sort of Yunari. I'm not working in Dark Eldar or Drew Carey. You know, I'm not playing the Price is Right game or whatever it is.
I love that.
I mean, I won several events with Harlequins because I got to re-roll all my haywire shots. So, like, which was super dumb and powerful because it just like aced a knight, no problem, every single time I shot one unit. Like,
You were like Castellan. I don't think so. Harlequins, bitch. Danny, you're moving around a lot here. Like you got something really important you want to add about this. I mean,
no, dude, my balls are just chafed. Sorry.
from you know,
We'll open up the door after this bit here.
I can understand that. I mean, as somebody that played Harlequins, you probably enjoyed the Doom quite a bit, so that makes sense that you got your balls
I think
chapped.
anyone who played any flavor of Space Elf enjoyed Doom.
Oh yeah, for sure. And,
mean-
and this is fine. I mean, it's good. It's good for the game.
It is.
It's good for the game. You're going to see less
Alex
single
Harrison.
Farsi or Warlock 3 units of Rangers lists. Like last year, we started to see those go away when they did the change to the Infiltrate. And now I think this is the final nail in the coffin of like a little Azerni battalion in everyone's lists. But good. They should be. I'm really confused at what Danny's doing with duct tape right now.
Never mind. I was pushing it around with my glass.
I'm going to
I
leave it
wasn't
at
sure
that.
if you wanted me to pour more cider in your glass.
No,
because
you're
it's empty. I was
But
like,
yes,
do
Doom,
I got to run out and buy some more cider? Is that what that
Doom,
was?
Protect, Jinx, Conceal, Reveal all got specified as affecting Azerni units only, which is a good change.
Yeah.
Now the big boy, your Castellan.
No, that was all that was in the fact. I thought. No.
The Castellan. Now they did
Wrong again, Dave.
I think a really smart thing on this here. They didn't increase the cost of the Castellan
Itself,
itself.
like the chassis.
The chassis is still the same, but they increased the cost of the guns, and I think that's a great thing to do.
I think didn't they just actually make the guns cost? Weren't they free?
Yeah, exactly.
before?
They were free
yeah,
before.
Yeah.
They were free before. Now they're 100 points for an Imperial Castellan, and they're 110 points
Looks
for
like-
a Chaos Castellan.
Looks like chain harpoon launchers is back on the menu, boys.
And it's
Maybe.
but I mean, I like that they added cost to the guns and not the knight itself. Because if you increase the cost of the base knight, then you have to increase the cost of the valiant as well, which is pretty much the same frame.
No, they're different costs.
No,
Well,
what he's saying is,
But I mean, but like this
yeah.
way,
Yeah.
if they ever decide to release different guns,
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. Then it kind of goes around there. So I think it was like a super smart thing to do. It was the best way to handle it. No one is going to be crying over 100 points.
Nope.
It's
well, I mean, they will.
lots of people are
I was gonna
crying
say,
about
are you
it.
have you been? Did you? Have
been
you
avoiding-
not been on the internet all
been-
week?
Have you seen the internet, sir?
I've been avoiding them because of Endgame. But
Oh.
yeah, it's a great change. 100 points is a fair addition. It doesn't take it completely out of the game, but it doesn't make it an auto-clued in most
Yeah,
Imperial lists
you
now.
have to really have something that you want to do with it, or it has to be gorgeously painted. You know, it
Well,
can't just be. I'm just
That
saying,
combined
like,
with
if
the 4++ max,
yeah.
I mean, that effectively takes it out of the competitive lists. Like,
Right,
it'll still show up sometimes, but I don't think it's going to be
So, how long has this model been out now? When was the release of this
about
model?
a
Do you
year or
remember?
so.
a little bit less than a year.
So a little bit less than a year. So my guess is that they finally managed to sell enough that they broke, like they're way ahead. Like sales are.
I
on
think
Castellans,
that's pretty
and then they-
cynical. I
and
don't
then-
know.
and
No,
then just-
I think they just realized that their
Like,
Castellan
there was-
hole was huge, and everything else was just like, why is Mortarion and Magnuses all over the shelf?
I like to.
Like people say, it keeps being shot by the Castellan. I'm like, shit.
I
Make
want
them
to
more
believe there
expensive.
was one guy back there at GW headquarters with that big red button, just waiting, just watching that number climb, just like, ooh. It's like, sell more Castellans, get more money, bigger bonus, or balance the game. It's like the guy
Man.
with the 2-button choice, just sweat pouring. Like,
How great
gonna
must your
be?
contract be if your bonus structure is based on one model selling really well?
they call it.
Let
that
me
guy
tell you,
Tom
I would
Walton.
be in every store and be like, hey, man, you should buy that Castellan.
Could you be in every store at once, though?
Heck yeah.
I mean, you best
Heck
you
yeah.
be all over. I mean, think of the cost of traveling around to each store, though. You'd lose money just on that.
I just use electronic proxies.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do.
Like holograms.
yeah.
No.
So it'd be like
an iPad with my face.
Oh, yeah.
and like a Segway.
Yeah.
Just,
And then I
what
would
are those?
use reverse tactics, and I would
roll it around a GW
You want
store.
that Castellan, buddy?
no, I'd be like, hey, don't buy that Castellan as shit. Buy this instead. I'm a faceless guy and an iPad, and I'm like, no, screw you. I'm going to buy a Castellan. And you're like, oh no,
See some guy stands some
Please
20
stop. Put it back on the shelf. No.
No.
Don't take it to the counter.
I
my
prefer
$15 royalty.
Danny in my head. It's actually a Roomba with a cheap knockoff Samsung, like Walmart $30
Dude, I
iPad
need-
thing.
It's a Roomba and a Zune.
Just
Shit, I need to build that now.
rolls up to a guy and bumps him in the ankle. Hey, down here. I just want to let you know.
Well,
I just
anytime
recently
we have
won
a
an
guest
RTT
on-
with a Castellan. Just saying. And then the room, wait, go back, Roomba. And the Roomba's turning to go away already. You're like, no, go back.
Whenever we have a guest on the show, I'm going to buy a Roomba and I'm going to glue a tripod to it.
So
and
you're
that's how
never
they're
going to buy a
appear.
Roomba?
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a Roomba.
Nice. But yeah, that was pretty much kind of the big FAQ overview. Every codex had little changes here or there, but those are really the major game-changing ones that you need to know about for your games of 40K.
I like Trajan went up to a 1+ invul. It was pretty good.
No, he didn't.
I don't know. I actually haven't looked.
It's not,
Not a thing,
it's
Dave.
not
You
factual.
sure it's not? I mean, he's a
Yes.
pretty
Yes.
special model. I would let him have an
Have
invul
you?
that high. Yeah,
You would let him have you.
I would let him have me. Fuck it.
We'll be
He's probably a
right,
tender lover.
hey, we'll be right back. We had a listener message us some questions about Imperial Fists, and I feel honor bound to answer.
I don't.
Fear consumed my every waking moment. It wasn't rational, but there it was, ruining my life. Then one day I came across a book called How to Be a Cheating Asshole. From the very first chapter, it helped me to confront my fear head on. In a world filled with easy answers and cheap solutions, How to Be a Cheating Asshole showed me that the way out of my despair was to use loaded dice and not declare what I'm rolling. Its message was so strong and so real that it put me on the road to a happier, more fulfilling life. And it made my fear a part of my past.
Hey, Dave,
Hey, John.
I got a treat for you.
Oh, I do love treats.
It's your favorite music.
I fucking
Hey,
love this.
so we had
I rock this on the way home when I have
Hey.
a bad day from work.
we had a listener question, which is why
Yeah.
I added music here.
Smart.
So Jeff says, hey guys, my friends have been quiet for 3 days now with my questions about 40K.
All right.
So I'm coming to the 40K podcast that I enjoy the most that has fluff in it to answer my questions.
That's a nice caveat.
One, there's a lot of qualifiers in that sentence right there that I don't appreciate. But we'll come back to that. Secondly, why did your friend stop asking your 40K questions? It just seems rude.
Like he's just out at the bar. Everybody's playing little foosball.
Yeah.
Somebody's spinning. He's like, "Hey, no spinning. Did you know that? Did you know that Mortarion spins like that when you play him?"
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, from all the fucking Castellan shots. All right, question the first. I always remembered since the days of 3rd edition, Iron Warriors were the masters of siege warfare and the Imperial Fists were their Imperial counterparts, but not as well versed in both sieges, defense, and attack. But nowadays, it seems that the Imperial Fists are master of attacking siege locations, while Iron Warriors are just as skilled, sometimes more skilled, sometimes less, at siege defenses. When did this happen? As I have always remembered the Iron Warriors being able to toy with Imperial Fists with their siege defenses. Now this piece, okay, I'm gonna feel a little bit about this one here first.
Okay, because I definitely have an opinion.
I have an opinion on this. Imperial Fists are better at preparing and defending positions. The cage, which is where he's referring about where the Iron Warriors really fucked over the Imperial Fists, was a carefully laid trap that Rogal Dorn sent his legion into on purpose to whittle down the failure.
Oh, okay, sure.
Danny, you seem to agree.
Sure. Okay, John. No.
But
All right.
I think in a modern 40K setting, it just comes from the Imperial Fists are more well supplied and have like kind of things like that, whereas Iron Warriors are more of a warband force now.
Not
So they would be
not
better at siege
replenishing.
siege warfare due to their training and such like.
So I always remember that the Imperial, for me, Imperial Fists were the absolute master of fortifications.
Also, all the
they-
Imperial Fists are dead now. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean they were.
Beast Arises spoilers. All the original Imperial Fists died.
So
So the new chapter they got, they're really fucking good at siege warfare.
They're way better.
Way better.
So, you know,
New game plus.
Imperial Fists are amazing at fortifying stuff, and Iron Warriors were amazing at destroying fortifications.
sorry,
so it's like a nice yin yang.
Golden Palace says what? No, the Chinese place, the palace.
I was gonna say they say you have more rice for $9.99 or something like that.
So in the fluff,
okay.
they've always been the same. Like they were the foil to each other. Like every time, the Iron Warriors, like they
The
describe
Rock
them
to
as
the
being-
Vin Diesel.
Sure, right. Thank you.
What? No, I think you mean the
One is-
Paul. I think you mean the Paul Walker
To the
Vin
wall.
Diesel.
No, dude. It's obviously the Jason Statham to the Rock.
All right, now come on, let's just get crazy now. It's Jason
Anyway.
Statham to Jet Li.
Okay, fair. All right, so moving on. So to me, they've always been equals of each other. They say the Iron Warriors were like a barbed thorn, like in any world that they like built fortifications on. So they were
Like they
like
just
Barbed
slightly
thorns
annoyed people.
often
Like it's
often
hard,
equated to vaginas
It's
because
hard
they're a
to-
bunch of vaginas.
it's hard to withdraw them once they're in.
Just
right?
hazard striped vaginas. Wow, that ended really
Yeah,
awkwardly for me.
who knew that
That
yeah
actually ended.
that actually ended. Yeah. And they
Anyway.
You didn't have the 1 hour version?
no.
So I think that I don't think that they've changed the fluff very much. I think that they're both really good at doing either of those things. The Iron Warriors were unparalleled at building defenses, but
The
except
defenses
for
refer to some kind of feminine product for which the Iron Warriors are famed for
hey
wearing.
man, they had a really rough deal during the heresy.
Like,
Yeah, the Emperor broke apart their legion and stuck them in a bunch of different like random fucking places, and so they were never consolidated into one place like all
Iron-
the other legions were.
Good.
you're talking about the Iron
And
Warriors.
they never,
the Imperial
yeah,
Fists. Okay.
no, the Iron Warriors. So
All right.
they have a right to be bitter, I think, with the Imperium.
Why?
Because they were broken up and sent on
I mean,
specific
Because they
missions.
never got any of the glory that
What's-
all the other legions got.
So
Because
what?
they're always small detachments attached
I'm
to
just
other.
saying that's some selfish shit right there. I mean, that's the first
not
road.
selfish.
The first step
I
on
know-
the road to chaos. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Envying your brethren, rather than just being happy that they've succeeded.
Bunch of
come
whiny
on, man, That's some
bitches.
Abel Cain bullshit right there.
Yeah.
No
Okay,
wonder we
sure.
fucking had a heresy. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Iron Warriors are fucking vaginas.
Bunch of bitches.
Hazard striped vaginas.
Okay.
And there you have it.
Well, no, you're wrong. So
Counterpoint to Dave. I have to agree with him. They're just
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I understand your point. Your point is that they're vaginas.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
Iron vaginas.
All right,
with
cool.
hazards
So
for
when
it.
you back your point up with some facts, like let me know, and we can come back to
Oh,
this as a later date instead of opinions.
Perturabo,
Perder often gets fucked.
yeah, repeatedly. I mean, so there's only two things that get fucked, and it's either a vagina or an asshole.
You
so
mean
which is it?
So you mean like Rogel Dorn gets fucked numerous times by every other Primarch?
No, he's a dick because he
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah.
You mean he gets blown up in a spaceship?
No. His hand gets cut off, and he heroically
Okay.
redeploys.
I don't listen
To the rear.
I
the
don't.
rear.
I don't want to say
Off
that,
stage.
that Luc Besson stole the Fifth Element idea from the Rogel Dorn storyline,
But Rogel Dorn wasn't a
but
space
maybe.
opera.
but
Well, at least it wasn't
but he
Valerian.
did. So right now we're just all right.
I will say that.
First off,
So yeah. So again,
Terrible movie.
actually, I put it on. It's a
All right,
fine
we're
doc-
not debating that movie right now. That's-
Save it for our bad movie podcast.
yeah. So anyway, yeah. Imperial Fist. I mean, I'll agree with Danny. They're always described as being pretty equal between each other, kind of siege quality.
And I would
attack
agree, if
planning.
there is a disparity, it would be that Iron Warriors are better at besieging than being besieged.
Right.
Now,
Slightly.
Right.
Now remember, though, take into consideration that what he's remembering is back to 3rd edition, which was before they started writing all of the Horus Heresy fluff and fluffing everything out.
Incorrect.
So that not incorrect. That's literally what he said was 3rd
In
edition.
3rd edition, they released the Index Astartes articles for all the different legions,
And I have
which
them upstairs.
included the role of the legion during the heresy.
Right, and I'm talking about the actual fluff books where they started to fully flesh them out even more. Those didn't start coming out until 2000, which
Okay.
was later than the beginning of 3rd edition. So if you had the beginning of 3rd edition and you're using your fluff from that time period, like maybe somebody remembers that Olithway in 2nd edition had bright orange fucking helmets and black armor, and that's not the way it is anymore. You know, that's just the way that they remember it because they're old and they've lost other memory, like short-term
Maybe they
memory and
just
stuff.
never understood color.
Maybe they never did.
The
But
color
what I'm saying is
blind.
if you have this idea in your head from when you first learned about something and things
Sure.
slowly change over time.
And they do.
And like they did because they fleshed them out with the chapter approved articles and the Horus Heresy fluff novels. I mean, how many novels are there in the Horus Heresy now? Like 3,000 or something like that?
Probably that's
Probably, yeah.
accurate.
I mean,
It's a ridiculous amount.
If Chris Wright would start writing Spinoza novels the way that everybody else writes Horus Heresy novels, I would be sitting here with a huge erection right now, unable to record because I'd be too busy reading about
Dave,
how
unless
Spinoza
there's
does
been
stuff.
great advancements in medical technology, you would not be sitting
That's
here
what I'm
with a
saying.
huge
Is
erection.
I would. I wouldn't. Viagra be damned. I've got a
It
Spinoza.
has nothing to do with medication, Dave.
It's genetic limitations.
We're talking about the qualifier huge here.
All right. So they're equals.
Spinoza's
They're
my Cialis. That's all I'm saying.
they're two sides of the same coin. They build that way in the wild. You can see a lot of the legions have kind of mirror counterparts, good and bad in there. Just the problem is Imperial Fist and Iron Warriors are very obvious ones, where some of them are a little bit more subtle. Question the second here. Would the Imperial Fists find it heretical? I mean, if you're
Yes.
asking that, then yes. Right away is the answer.
Stop there. Yes.
But that Primaris would paint their armor in the 7th Grand Company of the 7th Legion, the Imperial Fist Templar Brethren. I'm currently painting my Imperial Fist Primaris in pre-heresy colors, yellow pauldrons and helms, and if challenged for forging my narrative, I can always say there's a Primaris exclusive chapter.
Yep.
Though they wouldn't allow me to include my 30k Imperial Fist in my Primaris. Cataphracti with aggressors and centurions. So would you say, you Northerners who are so far away from the lore imposed by those of Adepticon and Nova, that it could make my narrative life hell? Well, okay.
May I?
One thing here, real quick.
Okay.
If I could jump in here, Dave, and I know I do that a lot.
You're like a goddamn pogo
Habitual,
stick.
yeah.
But
Kangaroo over here.
never let anyone tell you that your story is wrong. I think that's my biggest takeaway from that.
Fair.
If you want to say your Primaris came in and painted their armor blue in celebration of Alexis Pollux's space victories during the heresy while he was an Imperial Fist, but you were still Imperial Fist, go right ahead. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
If your friends are assholes and like, yeah, you can't do that because that's against the fluff. That's against the lore. Yeah, no, that's not cool. Dave, you were going to say the same thing, but less
Literally.
eloquently.
No, it's way more eloquently.
It's 10 times as eloquent.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
One more eloquent for every year I am older than you.
I have a 30K Imperial Fist army. I have a 40K Imperial Fist army.
Aren't they painted exactly the same?
They're painted exactly the same. My veterans are painted with black armor with yellow shoulder pads. And that was mainly just so on the 30K battlefield I could differentiate them easier.
There is an old piece of artwork, like not super old, but in 3rd edition in the Land Raider poster, that depicts an Imperial Fist Land Raider that's painted in a Night World camouflage scheme that's black.
Right.
That was
With
one
black
of the
with
Badab
some yellow.
storylines, right?
No, Imperial Fist weren't at Badab.
And there's a really good place in Plague Planet, which is one of the Black Library novels, but it deals with like Death Guard versus kind of Ultramarines and Ultramarine successor chapters.
Shocking.
But it talks about a Primaris Marine after the Indominus Crusade has been kind of dissolved and finished. And he was like, okay, sweet. I really want to be assigned to the Ultramarines. I am from McCragg. I want to be an Ultramarine. And he's assigned to the Nova Marines.
Right.
And he is not happy about that. But he goes in and the Nova Marines are like, oh, okay. Well, what we do is we get tattoos showing like really cool stuff we've done in battle. And usually we have someone else, verify. But just tell us what you've done. And, that's cool. We'll tattoo them on you. And the guy's like, no. That was my past life. That was my past glories. It was like, I will honor this chapter and their traditions.
Starting now.
Exactly why Primaris Marines are better than regular Space Marines.
Oh, God.
So I feel if you're putting Primaris and Imperial Fist, look at it that way. These are the orders they're given. This is what the Lord Commander has dictated. That their past lives and their past glories is kind of the, like, almost the Unsullied of the 40K universe. Don't matter anymore, and all that matters is what they do in the future and with their current chapters.
And you could say that it's Imperial Fist successor chapter that honors the Templar Brethren, and uses their color scheme. Simple solution right there
for sure.
Or you could just tell your friends to shut the fuck up. It's your models. You do what you want with them.
I mean, that's what I do when I cheat when I play Dave.
When you cheat,
yeah. This is the only other way I could beat his Elder Army last week.
Fairly certain he had 30 power level worth of stuff on the table. But,
right.
I mean, luckily there's no video to prove it, so we're fine.
We can only hope that a 10 cultists, a Chaos Lord, and 1 miniature Vroomba is 30 power level.
Fairly certain that thing should have been 22 power level the way it was being.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
The way you may as well have just taken that. It was your flying hive tyrant.
Well, 2 more are coming.
Good luck.
We're going to take a break. Hopefully that answers your question. If you guys as listeners have more questions for us, let us know.
We're happy to answer them.
We're happy to answer them. Hopefully, seriously, maybe with a little bit of light humor in there, like Iron Warriors or anything that are good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Stripes. Woo.
To celebrate getting was it 1,700 subscribers on YouTube?
Yeah.
We ran a little competition. After the break, we're going to come back and listen to some voicemails to see these entries for this competition. We're going to decide a winner of the new Chaddon model from GW. We will be right back, or skip to like 20 minutes in the future if you don't want to hear voicemails.
Yep.
If you're in the Anchorage area and need your hobby fix, head on down to Tier 1 Cards and Games. Whether it's 40K, X-Wing, Attack Wing, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, War Machine, Age of Sigmar, Malifaux, or even Magic, the Gathering kind, not the Siegfried and Royd kind, Tier 1 Cards and Games has the space, the players, and products for you to build your forces and destroy your foes. Not in Alaska? Enjoy our snow suckers. We've got none. And while you're stuck inside, check out Tier 1's live Twitch stream at www.twitch.tv/Tier 1 Cards. Streaming ITC format, 40K starting at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the last Saturday of every month.
All right, and we are back. So, like we said before, Chaddon got a beautiful new model coming out, and to celebrate us reaching 1,700 subscribers, which is the amount of failed crusades that a lot of 40K communities will make you think that Chaddon went on, when really he just had 12 successful battles.
Right.
We are going to give one away. I haven't listened to any of these voicemails that have come through to the Mob Rules voicemail line.
Same.
And I have relinquished control of the technology to Dave, which makes me very uncomfortable because
I also do not like this power.
It reduces my contribution to the podcast down significantly. So, Dave, take over.
All right, so we got a couple of them here. And there's a bunch that I like because I listen to them all. And unfortunately,
You sadist, you.
so it transcribes them, and the transcription makes me giggle every time just reading it. So sometimes I have to listen. And I'm not going to read you the transcriptions because I'm not an idiot.
I like it when you're like, hey, the transcription is the funniest part for
it
me,
is.
but I'm not telling you what it says.
I mean, just to take a little bit from this one here is like, otherwise you and your friends or whatever Day and Nicole will just be better Springs Marines. What?
Rad.
Rad. I like
awesome.
a Day and Nicole, my favorite reality show couple.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite ship.
Great porn stars. Yeah.
Nicole Day.
So I have.
That's probably a porn star.
I've
That's
chosen.
Porn star. I'm gonna
I've
go on my
chosen-
phone for an unrelated thing.
I've got 4 favorites that I'm going to play
okay.
for you, and I'm going to let the two of you choose which one you like the best, and the winner
alright.
of that.
Danny, let's
Alright.
choose my one. I don't have that model yet.
John's entry.
Some honorable mentions here. I want to say thank you to Patrick, but unfortunately we don't have 5 minutes to listen to Patrick's voicemails. He left very long voicemails looking for lots of stuff. He did say, Danny, that renegades and cultists are not what we need. So good call on the KS Space Marines. You're the man.
Oh, thanks.
And then he said he's something about how he likes your SM sauce. So I don't know what that means, but
So we're gonna listen to all of these.
That's for our adult themed podcast.
right.
We'll listen to all of these after we finish recording, and we might even put some up on our Patreon site.
Oh, yeah, totally.
All right. So
Reactions to all.
we got this one right here, who doesn't give his name or her name.
Its name?
Their name.
Its name. I don't want to gender specify.
Oh,
but,
fair.
Just
they're
did,
in a,
their
you
name.
just did
Sorry.
like 3 times.
yeah, they're in a 267 area code. So
Okay.
okay.
I Google here real quick.
What's up, douchebags? When are you guys to do more Plastic General? It was like the one good segment you guys did. You haven't done it in months. One time. Promises were made. Here's the most of them. Come on, guys. Get together.
I like that one because I like the Plastic General, and it reminded me to say we should do more Plastic General.
That was a great segment.
I mean, that's Philadelphia. And I'm going to point out here really quick, we did that once. So if that's the one good segment we've done, and if you think about it, if you break our podcast down, where we've done like 105 episodes on average of 3 segments an episode, it's like almost 320 like segments. And you're like, one of them was enjoyable. Give me model.
worth it.
But I mean,
You know
he
what?
has a point.
At least he
does.
listens. The thing is, he's still listening,
Right. Because he's eager to
You
hear some
sadist, you.
right?
more Plastic General.
He was like, maybe one of these days they'll do Plastic General. Free model, sweet.
I just have him like sitting around a table, like, and the new podcast downloads into his like the fireplace radio, and then he's just like, "Oh, a new Plastic General today," and he's like, "No more." And like all of his children who are huddled around for that excitement go away disappointed to work in the factory.
They have to go back inside the shoe
All right.
that they all live in.
But no, that was good. That's right. We should do more Plastic General next
right.
episode.
So this is area code 804.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, this is James from Virginia. Thanks for keeping the hobby alive, and keeping it fun, keeping me sane on my drive to work. Also, if you don't pick me, I know it's because the shipping's too much. I understand. You are not forgiven. Keep it cool. Stop drinking Four Loko. It's going to kill you guys.
Yeah, probably.
Later.
Should
That's
probably.
fair.
We're gonna make us homeless.
All of those things are true.
So that one.
I see a direct
good.
correlation between Four Loko consumption.
That was almost a
and homelessness.
challenge to make him not win, like to make him win, to prove that we would pay shipping.
It's an
'Cause
804 area code. It's literally like a step
It's
next
West
door.
Virginia.
It's not
yeah.
even that far. It could go way further.
Country roads take
Go to
him
Florida.
home.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a flat rate box, man?
I don't even know.
It's not like you're in England.
It's not like we even have the model close by. I'm just going to call Mini Stomp and be like, here's my credit card. Ship it to James. Oh, shipping's what, $1 from your house to his?
Oh,
Boom.
dude, don't
Roasted
give away our
James.
secrets or free plugs to the amazing Mini Stomp and his online store.
I would
Mini
never give
stomp
away.
when every dollar counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I buy all my Titanica stuff for app Mini Stomp
So that's
and then never play the game.
exactly right.
Oh man, I got to talk to you about that after this too.
Yeah.
All right. I like this one.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like a large pepperoni pizza, a couple orders of buffalo wings, and what else is on the special? Maybe some of those garlic knot things you guys do. And no Coke this time, but you guys go ahead and stop bringing the Schlitz over because that's kind of gross. Thanks.
Man, Schlitz is gross.
So I'm a huge fan of the translation on this because it says, give me some of those garlic nut things you guys do and no cook this time. Oh. So I was like, oh, just raw pizza dough and uncooked buffalo wings.
I kind of want to order garlic knots now.
I do too. I got garlic knots this weekend actually because of this voicemail.
Yeah.
All right, and
all right, last one here. Yeah,
this is the last one. This one's a little bit longer. This is 507 area code.
Yeah, this is Alex.
Do they not have phones in the 507 area?
Which I knew.
I like this one because it translated it for me.
I think you're real cool, but I don't know if Dan knows this, but there's this thing called the Border in Warhammer. This guy is called the Pioneer. Not much with him. Don't know what that's about. Doesn't mention
this message.
a single Predator tank. That's pretty fucked up in my opinion. And then,
that's a good point.
Let's be real. Danny is giving, if he chose the three best Infernal Blessings, he clearly chose the worst one, just so he could gain the competitive team. Warp Sight Fleet, dude, no one gun won 2019. Come on. We all know this is just 4D chess Danny's playing, so he can stay first at LPO 2020. Honestly, the fact that you can take this WR to steal new models with you could steal the eBay computer fine cat collection is it's kind of hard.
Okay.
I'm a long time fan. I've been
right.
I've been ignoring you guys for years now, and it really hurts. So I love you all, and I'm gonna go be on fire now. That's what you do when you're not longboarding. So I got the longboarding. I'm gonna go be on fire now. So okay, bye.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
Was he just reading a Google, like one of those pages that is supposed to show up on a Google search? Like a bunch of terms like Predator tank, Primaris Marine.
I mean,
he hit all my hot buttons. So
I heard him saying we were great.
Yep.
Or I think he was trying to say that he thought we were great, but the insulting part got cut off by him driving through several tunnels.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at in 507, but I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Is that
he
a Washington
was just
zip
whipping
code?
through tunnels left and right just to getting cut out. Oh, and he's like, "I'm going to leave the scathingest message. You guys are great, but
Man, you burned me so hard I couldn't even.
Anyway, so I want to say that Danny's good, but
It's southern Minnesota, so maybe he was just stuck under
probably
snow.
a snowstorm. Yeah. So, anyways, the end of it is so I love you all, and I'm going to go the entire, and that's what you're not long for software. Okay, bye.
I think he said he was going to go be on fire.
He did.
Yeah.
That much I caught, but I just love the transcription of it.
If you're listening, please email us at mobrulesmobcast@gmail.com. What the fuck you were trying to say?
Yep.
Because I'm legitimately intrigued.
Like, I want to know.
And I will copy back the transcription for you because I read it and went, what?
And if they're good burns, then yeah, we want to know them.
Yeah,
there's
solid.
nothing more fun in life than being insulted, and we get insulted a lot.
So those were my four favorites.
Okay.
Now, again,
pretty
we got one from our buddy Dartimus, whose daughter left us a cute little message because she's like 2, and it was cute, but I didn't feel it was appropriate for our podcast, so I couldn't choose that one. And there's one from Andy Bernard, who I can only imagine was calling from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
I mean,
Sure.
let me just.
Did he do a little ditty?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Andy Bernard. I just recently started listening to your podcast. I really liked it. The articles on the 40K website were well written and well thought out. Really liked them. Keep it up.
Yes,
I mean,
you can't pick out the
so
ones that are nice to
couldn't
us.
choose that one because
That's
it
who
was
I'm
long.
voting for right off the bat.
Well, it wasn't in your top 4,
Genius.
so it wasn't an option.
This guy's clearly operating at a really high capacity.
I mean, that's why we couldn't give him the model because,
Okay.
Well, that's a shame.
yeah.
Um,
Which one are you looking for?
I have one here.
Okay.
I'm going to press one more here.
Okay.
Just because it's.
Is it true that Four Loco have got you guys on a deal to help with their issue with having being legally pursued for allegedly marketing drinks to underage people, and that's why Dave is drinking it.
Oh, see that?
So
that
Dave is
one,
a pedophile.
I didn't like that one at all.
I like that angle.
So that wonderful Scottish person who left us that voicemail there was going for the thing. I think the anti-joke of Dave being too young instead of being too old.
No,
Or maybe,
and that's why you can't drink it.
Nope, that is not exactly why. Then Dave, he's saying the reason that Dave is going for the Four Loko sponsorship, he's using his age as look how old I am and I drink it. Obviously, Four Loko is for a finer, older generation.
I thought he was saying
Classy.
that because you were interested in drinking it, you were trying to attract a younger audience into your van.
You think I'm interested in drinking it?
I mean,
you guys Stockholm Syndrome force me into drinking it each time. I show up each week and I go, hey, what's going on here? And you guys are like, we're going to play Mystery Four Loko. And I was like, I hate that game. And then John,
oh man,
feeds me Four Loko Black.
Yeah, so we tie you to a fucking chair
and force that shit down my throat and make me smile.
It's become a thing.
All right. If you put a weighted blanket on me, I can't move.
Do you know we have you in a video drinking the black of your own volition?
It was not. I was like 17 ciders in at that point. I didn't even know what I was doing.
All right.
Couldn't have told you my name.
I don't have the drum roll loaded on this app here, but I do have this that I found that I'm going to turn down before it deafens us all. Danny, who is the winner?
Oh, the dude who wrote about the Plastic General.
Yeah, I think just because
gave us the message.
It started off with a very wonderful.
What's up, douchebags?
Yep.
That's
how I would start a message.
I mean, that's gonna be clipped.
I start a message to you every day.
That's gonna be clipped, and that is gonna be kept as a wonderful sound effect.
I like it. That's going on the soundboard, buddy.
That's going on the soundboard. Didn't know you were giving up your IP when you called us.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to
What's up, douchebags?
Work that into the guy stomping, so you'd get the stomp noise, and then it stops.
Just like, what's up, douchebags?
And then stomp away again.
You are now our official Primaris Marine who just shows up. I like that. That's a T-shirt right there.
I can't remember. Does he give his name and all?
No, but I have your home phone number, which I won't read aloud right now
because I want to have Alec make a
phone number.
I want to make Alec make us a Primaris now for a character with this guy's name.
Ooh.
Primaris.
We'll figure it out. So
Primaris, this guy.
We'll get a message. I want to thank everyone who sent us messages. It was great listening to them all. If you want to torture yourself more, we will be going onto our Patreon and kind of listening to all the messages and kind of reacting to them a little bit there. If that's something ridiculous that you want to listen to,
I don't know why you would.
Yeah,
but you can.
But you can, and
for
that's fucking America.
For $1.
Fucking America, right there. Yeah. Call us if you want to leave some messages. 702-551-6946 is the voicemail number.
Even though it's in Las Vegas, we are not.
It's in Las Vegas, like we want to be,
and will be.
I will be honest. We share that email, right? We all have access to it, and I check it like daily.
You
to
do?
See what's going on in there. Yeah.
Danny got a phishing email from.
It was so awesome.
I don't know how. Like
$9.6 million he's leaving.
It was like so close. It was like you were Ron White sitting naked in a beanbag chair eating Cheetos, and he got to the point where he wanted, do you want to give me $5,000? You were like, ooh, so close, fishing. But no, we got.
Gotta be a little quicker.
The last voicemail we got was nothing. Like there was no transcription. There was nothing. There was like a missed call. But I was so excited to see that there was a voicemail out of the blue. I was like, there's a voice. It's nothing. Fuck.
Yeah.
So I wish it was a Walgreens prescription.
Oh, I mean that's always the best ones. But yeah. So hey, that's been Marlboro. That's been kind of our FAQ episode going on about our urban conquest. We're gonna be back in 2 weeks.
And I will be triumphant in urban conquest.
Brand new equipment that I'm very excited about. We're going to have the result of a 30 power level game of Dave versus Danny. Who's going to be triumphant?
It's Danny.
The person who's played Eldar for years and Chaos for years, and the guy who started playing Eldar last week.
That's not true. Oh wait, I don't count Epic 40K. You don't count Epic 40K.
It's a different game system.
I'm just gonna bring a bunch of Epic Eldar Guardians.
They will die just as quickly. I will be taking on Cody and his flying Hive Tyrant of Doom, and hoping that just enough Mephitic Black Haulers will haul that thing down out of the sky. And then we're also going to be talking some Ynnari. And then, according to this wonderful Abaddon winner, we're going to be doing some Ynnari Plastic General and seeing kind of what all of us think. Pretty much, I think the only limitation is it's got to be Ynnari. So we're going to talk about what's going to make a great Ynnari list.
You don't want to include
in
like
the
a
new
specific you must use unit?
I mean, we can talk about it later.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, essentially it's going to be like this new Ynnari, which is kind of its own specific felt force rather than an amalgamation of what's good about everything else. But yeah, you guys have anything else you want to add?
Oh, no, hold on. I have a unit I want you guys to use.
Okay.
I'm not. If you say you're dick, I'm out.
Fuck. No, it's you guys got to use the Viziarch because that model is fucking awesome.
He's a fucking amazing model,
and everybody should use him. I think his rules are better now, but we'll see.
All right, so for Mob Rules, I've been John.
I've been Dave.
I've been Danny.
And we will see you next time.
Woo.